Hello, sixth graders. This is a video explaining what we're doing in class today. Today is Wednesday, October 7th, or Thursday, October 8th. So again, this is the in-class People lesson. So as you can see, directions say that we're going to be reading from the textbook. Textbook pages 10 and 11, those are down below here. Those of you that didn't make it to class today, or if you want to reread, that's great. We're also going to be doing a fill in the blank on our notes, and that is right here, fill in the blank. We're going to be watching a fire video in class. The fire video is right here. I will not show that on this video, but you can watch it on your own, and then we'll discuss migration. As we go, I'm going to be watching the early humans civilization slideshow. So remember, that's something that we use in class and you have access to under resources. Today we're going to start on slide 5, and slide 5 is actually your notes. So they're set up just like we would in our notebooks. And those of you that didn't make it to class today, you can use the notes that I gave you in the directions, and you can send that into Notability and type on it in there. Those of you that are in class today, you probably took notes as we went along. So I'm going to be reading from our textbook pages, and we'll fill the notes in as we go. So it starts out in our textbook. Historians call the early period of human history the Stone Age. The name comes from the fact that people during this time used stones to make tools and weapons. The earliest part of the period is the Paleolithic or Stone Age. Paleolithic means old stone in Greek language. Paleolithic times began roughly 2.5 million years ago and lasted around 8,000 BC. In our notes in this section of the region, we can type in the words Stone Age, right here, stone, old Stone Age. Try to imagine the world during the Stone Age, long before any roads, farms, and villages existed. Early people spent most of their time searching for food. They hunted animals, caught fish, ate insects, and gathered nuts, berries, fruits, grains, and plants. Down below, you can see what we filled in here. Hunted animals, caught fish, and then we said gathered nuts, berries, fruits, and then we added plants at the very end. Because they hunted and gathered, Paleo people were always on the move. They were nomads, or people who regularly moved from place to place. They traveled in bands of 30 or so members because it was safer and made the search for food easier. So the term nomads is move from place to place. Men and women did different tasks within the group. Women stayed close to the campsite, which was typically near a stream or other watered source. They looked after the children and searched nearby woods and meadows for berries, nuts, and grains. Men hunted animals, an activity that sometimes took them far from camp. They had learned the habits of animals and made tools for the kill. At first, they used clubs or drove the animals off cliffs. Over time, Paleolithic people invented spears, traps, and bows and arrows. So as you can see, water and streams up here, streams, water sources, and then their technology. Technology, we have tools, methods to help life, which were clubs, fire, hand axe, spear, fish hooks, and needles. The way that Paleolithic people lived depended on where they lived. Those in warm climates needed little clothing or shelter. People in cold climates sought protection from the cold weather in caves. Over time, Paleolithic people created new kinds of shelters. The most common was probably made of animal hides held up by wooden poles. So we have shelter in caves right here. Paleolithic people made a life-changing discovery when they learned to tame fire. Fire gave warmth to those gathered around it. It lit the darkness and scared away wild animals. Food cooked over the fire tasted better and was easier to digest. In addition, smoked meat could be kept longer. Archaeologists believe that early humans started fires by rubbing two pieces of wood together. Paleolithic people later made drill-like wooden tools to start fires. Fire was a key to the survival of Paleolithic people during the Ice Ages. These were long periods of extreme cold. The last Ice Age began around 100,000 BCE. From then until about 8,000 BCE, thick ice sheets covered parts of Europe, Asia, and North America. The Ice Age was a threat to human life. People risked death from the cold and also from hunger. Early humans had to adapt by changing their diet, building sturdy shelters, and using animal furs to make warm clothing. The mastery of fire helped people live in this environment. Another advancement in Paleolithic times was the development of spoken language. Language made it far easier for people to work together and to pass on knowledge. Early people expressed themselves not only in words, but in art. They crushed yellow, black, and red rocks to make powder for paint. Then they dabbed this on cave walls, creating scenes of lions, oxen, panthers, and other animals. You can see we have down here communication, spoken language, and cave paintings of animals. Historians are not sure why these cave paintings were created. They may have made religious meanings. Early people also might have thought that painting an animal would bring good luck in the hunt. Paleolithic people were the first to use technology. Technology is a tool or tools and methods to help humans perform tasks. People often used a hard stone called flint to make a tool. By hitting flint with a hard stone, they could make it flake into pieces with very sharp edges. To make hand axes and hunting spears, they would tie wooden poles to pieces of flint that were the right shape for the tool. Over time, early people grew more skilled at making tools. They crafted smaller and sharper tools, such as fishhooks and needles made from animal bones. They used needles to make nets and baskets and to sew hide together for clothing. That's the information on Paleolithic people. Please watch the video that is attached to your assignment, and then at home, your job will be to watch a comparison video on the Paleolithic people, the Neolithic people, which we will learn about in class next time, and a group between them called the Mesolithic people.